Hi, this is Attorney Mike Revlin coming to you from Chicago. As usual, today we're going to look at Better Call Saul Season 4, Episode 3. It's called Something Beautiful, and I'm in the midst of moving my office. I'm looking forward to going to my new space, but it's a big mess in here, as you can see. I've got Post-its on things that need to be taken away here. I just wanted to take one last walk into my conference room, which the furniture will all be gone later today, and also show you my cool new camera, which I don't know how to use yet. There it is, but I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. But I just wanted to sit down here in front of my old backdrop and say, welcome to Law Talk. Well, this episode starts with a bang. Literally, we have someone driving at full speed over a set of spike strips. We quickly learn this is all part of a plot to stage a hit, and part of that is going to be Nacho taking a bullet in the shoulder. And as he walks out to complete the plot, they get him with another one.
Can I make the call now?
This part is just horrible, and it reminds me a lot of Breaking Bad, and even back in the day when I was watching Dexter. Sometimes these shows are quite literally like a public service announcement to not engage in a life of crime, because you see the most horrible things, and as you watch the plot play out, you think, yep, of course, yeah, those sorts of things would happen. So if you were ever on the fence thinking, I'd like to be a criminal, watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul first.
Gotta make it look real. Do it quick before you pass out.
So in the last episode, Jimmy interviews at a copier sales place, and he figures out that they've got a valuable Hummel there. And how does he know this information? Of course, he knows this from all his elder law work, so he's had exposure to Hummels, and he sees an opportunity there. And here he presents it to Mike.
And? What if I told you could turn this piece of crap into $4,000?
Here he elaborates on his plan. He gets a sort of replacement Hummel that looks very similar so that they can go and poach that thing.
Bavarian boy, almost identical. Same umbrella, same swagger. That one is worth a boatload.
And I gather you know where to find a Bavarian boy.
I do indeed.
And here he shows that he's really thought it through and that this is a pretty easy opportunity to make some money.
Look, they're not even going to know it's gone. They look over at the shelf, they just see the same dumb tchotchke staring at them they've been looking at for years. There's no serial number. These things are practically untraceable.
This next part is what's so good about this show. Mike finally responds, and of all things, he's basically got a moral objection to it, which is something concerning the fact that he makes all of his money by criminal enterprise.
And how did you come across this valuable wunderkind?
What difference does it make?
Guys in the office cross you? Done you wrong?
What?
Here Mike just flat turns it down, and Jimmy can't believe it.
Yes.
What? Why?
It's not for me.
Not for you? Is there some problem I'm not seeing?
This next bit is interesting. After he passes on it, Mike sort of explains by implication that yes, this is an easy way to make money, but nobody did anything to you. So he sort of displays his warped sense of morality, and that if he can't get emotionally behind it, even if there's money to be made, he's just not interested in it. This is effectively a crime of opportunity. They know of something that would be easy to do, and Mike just can't bring himself to do that, and he's saying the same thing to Jimmy. And this sort of highlights throughout the show their MO, which is usually they're doing something bad, but you're rooting for them anyway because whoever the victim is deserves it. And Mike just, he just can't get behind it if that isn't in place, and it's a very interesting scene.
It's fine as far as it goes. It's just not for me. And I don't think it should be for you either. I'm sorry about your brother.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or the dogs get it. After Mike turns him down, Jimmy goes to the vet to look up a new person to help him get this Hummel, and he has this funny exchange.
Hey, this is the interesting party. I have one question for you. Do you shit gold? It's a simple yes or no. Do you shit gold?
Meanwhile, Nacho gets taken to that same veterinarian to get patched up after taking 2 bullets in the staged hit. And once again, it's another PSA for not being involved in crime. First of all, you've got to eat 2 bullets for circumstances, and then in order to live, you have to go to a veterinarian and not a proper hospital and a doctor. And it's just excruciating.
Careful!
The veterinarian does patch him up as far as we can tell, but he's had enough of this too and just thinks it's too much to handle.
Now understand this. After I walk out of here, I never want to see you again. Never. This cartel shit is too hot for me.
So here, Jimmy's Hummel heist is actually taking place, and it seems to be going well. Until the guy from the copy shop comes out of the bathroom because he's having a fight with his wife. I like this bit. Not only does Jimmy's partner for the Hummel heist get stuck under the desk where he can't move, he's got to endure a horrible conversation between the guy who works at the copier store and his wife. And that sets up this episode's favorite line.
You're saying I'm a thoughtless, that I don't care, but it is a very, very expensive vacuum. It never loses suction.
I like this part too. It's sort of introduces and gives the backstory of Gail, who shows up in Breaking Bad and has a fairly significant role there. But in this one, this is the first time that we see Gail, and Gus is going to him. He has samples of drugs, and Gail is saying, you know, this is awful, and basically auditioning to be a chemist for this drug cartel.
Basically, they're Drek. I could do much better.
Gail.
Much higher grade. I could make a kilo or more right here. No one would know.
Okay, I've heard it in the comments. People like it when I discuss law stuff, and this is my only opportunity really in this episode because there's not a lot of law going on. Jimmy's without his license at the moment. But this is a nice scene between Kim and her paralegal. So without further ado, I bring you a new Law Talk feature. I'm going to call it Law Stuff.
Unless there's something else you need from me.
No, I think we're good. Maybe you could also start looking into federal charter regs. No rush.
This bit kind of hits home for me because I've lived it. I've lived it on both sides, and it's just a small thing, but it's cute. It's probably a good warning for any of you youngsters who are thinking about a career in law. It's like this in any profession, though. But Kim's got this paralegal who's trying to do everything she can to impress her so she can get more work and rely on her. Kim ultimately does get busy enough that she starts actually allowing her to do stuff of substance. But in this circumstance, the paralegal is just very, very excited that she gets to look up federal banking charter regulations and that is just awful. And it's very in line with my experience. When you start out, she's a paralegal. Usually I would think this would be an attorney, but still, you go all the way through law school, and then you spend a couple of years begging to get horrible work. You do not want to be looking up federal banking charter regulations. It's not fun. But if you want to be a lawyer, you do, because you want to get experience and some substance. You just don't want to do nonsense all the time, and you have to go through that period of doing horrible things and begging for that work in order to become a real attorney. So Kim brings some paperwork to Jimmy about Chuck's death. She gives him the stuff that he's getting $5,000, and also provides him with this letter that Chuck supposedly wrote. In the first part, Jimmy just takes it, and he continues in his mind frame of none of this matters. He's been like that ever since he told Howard it's his cross to bear, and Kim is very wrapped up and worried about it for him, obviously, but he seems to be doing just fine. And then he reads this syrupy sweet letter, which doesn't sound like Chuck at all, saying nice things to him, and that's where we leave it.
$5K. Yeah. I can pay off my MasterCard.
The takeaways for this episode are that Mike and Jimmy continue to have a very, very weird ethic. In this case, it's Mike applying it, where they're willing to do things, but they need some additional motivation besides financial. And that's kind of a strange thing, but it sort of makes a lot of what's interesting about this show. Nacho is in a horrible position where he's compromised, and he has to take 2 bullets and get sewed up by a veterinarian instead of a doctor because of the position he's in, and it all stems from his life in the drug cartel. And the other big question that's asked at the end of this is Jimmy about ready to explode? Is he just bottling up his emotions, or is he just or did he just flip a switch and turn on Chuck and not care anymore? Here at Law Talk, we do a lot of videos answering common legal questions. We also do reviews of law in the movies and then on TV. We also share some of our more interesting cases. We're always putting out new videos. So if you like that, please hit like, subscribe, and